Activision Blizzard just had their earnings call, and it's one that actually reveals a lot of juicy info. Their plans are actually quite massive, and their recent successes have really been quite big. But that said, there's a little bit of drama, a bit of spice, so let's get into it. First off, Blizzard, and that really is the focus for today's video. It's the more interesting one, really. And they've had an odd year, because in short, World of Warcraft did incredibly, but everything else declined, and there wasn't a BlizzCon worth of virtual ticket sales that happened in that quarter. So yeah, numbers kind of offset a bit. Now, WoW really is their big thing. The core message there is that Classic and Shadowlands are driving engagement to the best that it's been in a decade. They're making money bigly. What's not planned for 2021 is a release of Overwatch 2 and Diablo 4, which are at least 2022 projects. Now, that's not surprising at all for Diablo, I would say, and it's not surprising for Overwatch, but it is going to be rough. That's a struggling game that barely receives enough content to stay relevant. With hero development also paused until Overwatch 2 launches, yeah, Overwatch is just going to be stale and boring for a while, and that's that. Now, there is a lot more to do with Blizzard, believe me, but first, you've got to understand what I'm going to call Bobby's Blueprint.
I hope you brought an army.
Okay, Bobby's Blueprint. This is the thing that you've got to understand, even and especially if you don't care about Call of Duty, because this impacts everything. Okay, Activision was very clear about this being their plan. With Call of Duty, you have Warzone and then Call of Duty Mobile. These are free-to-play offerings that are then tied into the yearly premium game releases. And this has done a number on Activision's performance, because in Q3 2018, just to grab one, Activision had 45 million monthly active users. In Q4 of 2020, that number is 128 million. So yes, they implemented the Call of Duty plan to one of their franchises, one of their big ones, yes, and their users over doubled. Yes, their users over doubled, revenue went through the roof, and they found that the combo of the connection between Warzone and Cold War, and then all of the social play with the Battle Royale, that's just got players playing more and spending more. So the Call of Duty model just works, at least for Call of Duty, and they have said that they want to apply this basically to all their big franchises. Now that you understand Bobby's Blueprint, it's time to understand our blueprint, which is, hey, let's do some cool shit in Patreon. So over there, we don't have a mobile free-to-play game for you, but we do have some really cool loot. This month, you can get the shield, which goes real well with last month's sword, as well as a whole bunch of art. Also, the daily briefing, and we are developing more things for Patreon as well. It is a humongous help to what we do. Really, I see it actually as being the entire future of what we do. I don't want to be chasing headlines and doing all that stuff all the time, and it's your guys' support that lets that happen. So, thank you, and now it is time for Blizzard's big mobile plan.
You guys not have phones?
Yeah, you guys all have phones, right?
So now that you understand this Call of Duty model, let's talk about the rest of Blizzard Entertainment. They mentioned having multiple free-to-play mobile experiences that are in advanced stages of development, and that they will let people experience the Warcraft universe in entirely new ways. What does that mean? Well, it means Warcraft mobile games. What could those be? When will they release? That is the question. And, well, to roughly fill you in, for some context, back when the big job cuts happened, around that time Blizzard refocused in core AAA titles that involved the cancellation of the StarCraft Battlefield game and the cancellation of some of the mobile games that had been in the works in their incubation unit. Now, the context there is that us WoW players saw notable developers like Tom Chilton, Craig Amai, Corey Stockton, and a bunch of others generally just leave World of Warcraft, but stay at Blizzard, and we know a bunch of them had been working on mobile games. Now, what would fit Warcraft? Well, they obviously have a card game in Hearthstone. There was also a Pokemon Go idea that was apparently being led by Corey Stockton. That would tie into WoW's pet battles. As for the rest, though, of our mobile game staples, I mean, they could harken back to the RTS roots of Warcraft with something like a Clash Royale. They could go down like the hero and character route with a gacha RPG, but that's getting a little bit icky, isn't it? It's hard to say. What we do know is mobile and free-to-play, and that typically does mean one of a selection of game archetypes. Now, we could say that old-school RuneScape mobile works well, but remember, even WoW Classic has got a lot of buttons, and I just don't know if it would fit mobile that well at all. But we know they're trying, and the thing is that if they succeed, I would expect to see Blizzard's MAUs, monthly active users, surge, especially once WoW free-to-play mobile games hit the Chinese market. I think it'll do really well there. Now, Diablo Immortal will of course come out first, and memes aside, it does actually seem to be a very, very good mobile action RPG as far as those go. Now, how do the, out-of-season April Fool's jokes go down now when we're in an age where, say, Genshin Impact, a mobile gacha game, is receiving massive amounts of praise from legions of core gamers? I would say there that overall, games can be great on a mobile. I mean, Dead Cells, really fun on mobile. Doing a mobile Diablo game makes complete sense. It'll probably be quite solid. And if anything, I think it's a lesson in audience expectations. People are expecting D4, you gave them Diablo Immortal, ask them if they don't have phones, obviously it would have went bad. Now, we should also expect mobile games then covering Overwatch, and while StarCraft is a big love for me, and it is a Blizzard franchise, I think they know that it wouldn't drive the numbers that Diablo and Overwatch and World of Warcraft would. So big mobile games. With that covered, the future of Blizzard. BlizzCon takes place on February 19th, so what can we expect and what will Blizzard's content slate look like? Well, World of Warcraft will have major patch content reveals, as will Classic the Burning Crusade. Now, we may also see a World of Warcraft mobile project be announced. Blizzard, of course, now forced to learn the lessons of BlizzCon 2018, I would say will only announce a mobile game if they think the rest of what they do will have the core premium game crowd happy. I think if not, then, they'll announce elsewhere. I mean, Hearthstone was announced at PAX, not BlizzCon. Now, Overwatch 2, I think it'll have a large dev update. I think D4 will also have a dev update, maybe not as big, and there'll probably be something for Diablo Immortal. If they cover Immortal, they'll have to do so in a sort of tongue-in-cheek, knowing way. Now, of course, we also do know that Vicarious Visions, who are newcomers to the Blizzard family, that they're working on Diablo 2 Remastered. So I would not be surprised to see an announcement there, because that project has been rumored for quite a while, so it could be a good bit into dev. As for Hearthstone and HOTS, I would say more of the same, nothing exciting. So with that covered, what does Blizzard's launch slate look like? What can we expect? Well, the first thing to understand is that the Activision Blizzard COO said that they expect that 2022 will be large for Blizzard, and in general, they're expecting step changes in their performance in 2022. So with that in mind, 2021 will be held down, I believe, by modern WoW patch content, as well as World of Warcraft Classic The Burning Crusade, along with just the usual for other titles, as well as Diablo Immortal. Now, Diablo 2 Remaster, that could be 2021 or it could be 2022. Overwatch 2 is almost certainly 2022 then, and 2022 is also and will likely see those Warcraft mobile games start to appear, and perhaps an Overwatch mobile game as well. Now, if 2022 is to see Overwatch 2, a World of Warcraft expansion, and the application of the Call of Duty blueprint to 2 or 3 of their franchises, expect to see incredibly high revenues and a big spike in growth. As for 2023 then, I think still big, because you'll have all the successes of 2022, and then you'll probably also have Diablo 4. You'll then, I would say, have World of Warcraft Classic Wrath of the Lich King, which I think will be extremely big. Beyond that, who knows, but that is what I'm expecting for the next handful of years from Blizzard Entertainment. And to quickly finish us off, look, we didn't cover the Activision stuff because really their story is that of Call of Duty. I'd like to see them say a few more things about, publishing games, like, how the FromSoft stuff went with Sekiro. But there are a few things to cover. Their CFO said they've got a few remasters up their sleeve. Now, we know about D2 Remastered, so is there anything else? Hard to say. They have really went through a lot of what they would have to remaster. There could be a Tenchu remaster, propelled by Sekiro. That could be a thing. Sekiro is apparently started off as a Tenchu-like game, though, so hard to know. Maybe Crash Bash. I'd like a Crash Bash remaster, but beyond that, there's not really that much else in the tank. Maybe some more Crash content, maybe a new Spyro game led by Toys for Bob. I think those are reasonable things to expect in the future for them. So that's the situation. And then to finish us off, just a little bit in the financials, because the markets are responding to this very well. Overall, business is booming for them. Investors are bullish on that, seeing that the Call of Duty model is working, and their share price is hovering around all-time highs. I mean, if you bought Activision stock after, the Destiny 2 Bungie leaving thing, you'll have over doubled your money right now. So investor returns have been pretty good. Turns out, right, if you publish the fastest selling PC game of all time, before Cyberpunk launched, and then you double your MAUs within, 2 years, yeah, you'll earn a lot of money, and people will be pretty confident if they see that's a model you can apply to everything else you do. And that's basically it for this video. Let me know what you thought. We tried to keep it a little bit more tight and snappy, yeah, I mean, speaking of tight and snappy, check out the Patreon. That was a very smooth segue. Got some cool loot, support what we're doing. All, as they say, pretty pog. But with that said, cheers, and I'll see you next time.